Hi everyone. In today's clip, I will talk a little bit about cholesterol. Just a reminder that anything I post here is not meant to diagnose or cure anything, and it's for informational use only. For any health-related matters, please consult your healthcare provider. We have been told, heard, and read that we should be on low-fat diet and should avoid high cholesterol foods. We have learned that eating saturated fats will raise the level of cholesterol, and excess fat eventually ends up in our arteries and result in heart attacks and stroke. We also need to know that avoiding healthy fats can be quite dangerous to our overall health. As a matter of fact, synthetic ingredients, processed foods, refined or sugar substitutes, preservatives, additives, hidden ingredients, and unhealthy oils that we eat are the root cause of this. So what is cholesterol anyway? Physically, it is a waxy fat-like material that is in all our cells in the body. Our bodies on its own can manufacture the cholesterol that it needs on daily basis. This is to build cells and maintain many aspects of normal basically physiology. We need cholesterol to create some vital hormones and vitamin D and other substances that help digestion. Cholesterol is also present in some food products that we consume, like meats and certain oils. Cholesterol normally cannot be dissolved in blood because blood is sort of watery, so special proteins called lipoproteins are necessary to carry it to where it needs to go. This lipoprotein carrier system actually acts like a microscopic group of little boats that carry cholesterol through the bloodstream. Each type of lipoprotein has a different density and also behaves very differently than the other types. There are three main types that we have, three main types of lipoproteins. We have low density lipoprotein, which is LDL. We have high density HDL, and we have very low density VLDL. LDL cholesterol in the bloodstream under the proper circumstances can lead to the formation of plaque in the arterial walls and ultimately atherosclerosis. Now, LDL on its own is not bad. It is the level of oxidized LDL which is a major issue. Oxidized LDL or ox-LDL usually comes from artificial oils, partially hydrogenated oils, genetically modified foods, refined sugars, and so on. It is also in meats and fats that were heated to a very high temperature. There's a specialized blood test, typically using a method called ELISA, which is ELISA, to measure ox-LDL levels, which is not included in the standard lipid panel and is a better measurement in understanding the dangers. HDLs are required for fat metabolism, and they support the immune system if there are any, let's say, parasitic attacks or inflammation. HDL is primarily produced in the body by our liver and intestines. It transports the LDL and VLDL to our liver, where they are broken down, allowing our body to eliminate them. So it keeps it away from arteries and removes the excess cholesterol. VLDLs are a form of cholesterol that help distribute triglycerides through the bloodstream. A portion of it also converts into LDL. The major difference between LDL and VLDL is that the percentage of protein in the VLDL is much lower, and the percentage of triglycerides, which are used for energy production, are much higher in VLDL. VLDL is the body's main source of energy when you do any kind of fasting. Triglycerides are stored as fat cells and then released for energy between meals and when more calories are burned than we have consumed. So LDL has the highest amount of cholesterol. HDL has the highest amount of protein, and VLDL has the highest amount of triglycerides, which is body fat. We also have a different type of LDL, which is made of something called apolipoprotein B, or ApoB. ApoB tests sort of can help in understanding the risk of heart and blood vessel disease. ApoB only gives right to the kind of lipids with bad reputation, or LDL. You won't find good cholesterol hanging around ApoB. When you see high levels of ApoB, you can be sure there are LDL present. When it comes to triglycerides, some of this is produced by our liver when we eat high-calorie foods or carbohydrates. This is one of the many reasons why it is important to read the ingredients in what we buy. Anything, for example, with high fructose corn syrup increases the levels of triglycerides and brings about weight gain as well as the risk of type 2 diabetes. In orthomolecular medicine, usually they address the issue through use of niacin or B3. So niacin can raise HDL levels more than any statin drugs, while simultaneously lowering VLDL and triglycerides and total cholesterol. Niacin causes the skin to flush and feel hot and itchy for a few minutes, which is not harmful. But to keep this under control, we normally start by taking niacin at a low dose once a day and slowly increasing the dose day by day. This allows the body to adapt to the increasing dose. An appropriate starting dose probably will be like 25 milligrams, taken once per day with food, and we can break 100 milligrams or tablet into 4 pieces and take one every day for several days, then increase it to 2 25 milligram doses a day, taken in divided doses in the morning and evening with food, and gradually increase the dose over the next few weeks. Using this method, it's really possible to get a dose of several hundred milligrams of niacin taken in divided doses with meals without any majorly noticeable sort of flushing. Once we reach the 500 milligram twice a day, we stay on that dose for about 3 months and later bring the dosage down to 500 milligram once a day. Niacin is not a liver toxic. Niacin therapy increases liver function test, but this elevation means that the liver is active. It is not. It does not indicate. It's not indicative of an underlying sort of liver pathology. Niacin levels of up to 3,000 milligrams a day can be taken without any issues or side effects. Of course, a change in diet is also needed, and cutting down on simple sugars and colon cleansing is very important. And usually the best way to colon cleanse or cleaning the colon is either through a high colonic procedure or taking psyllium or chia seeds on a daily basis. But ensure to take them, if you're taking psyllium or chia seed, ensure to take them at least an hour apart from any medication or supplements, and drink a lot of water to eliminate the chance of constipation. Also, switching to coconut oil, for example, for cooking is a minor adjustment that makes a huge difference. Even though coconut oil contains saturated fats, it is considered a rare gem and has extraordinary health benefits. In conventional medicine, statin drugs are very common in helping bring the cholesterol levels down. So what these sort of medications do is that they interfere with the action of certain chemicals in the liver that is responsible for cholesterol production. There are few different types and brands, basically, which we know of, like there's Lipitor, Mevacor, Lescol, Crestor, Zocor, and Compactin, for example, and Crestor being considered the most potent and Lescol being the least potent. Regular use of statins is actually dangerous to health. When we interfere with the normal processes of the body, chances are that we will be causing an imbalance in the body, which is not a good thing. Statins have shown to not only prevent the production of essential cholesterol, but it also restrains the production of intermediate sort of substances, many of them very important to various biological functions in the body. To make it even worse, these drugs tend to deplete the body's coenzyme Q10 or CoQ10 reserves, which is an enzyme that is actually very good for muscle function and heart health. This then leads to the depletion of CoQ10 and lead towards the onset of soreness, fatigue, muscle weakness, and eventually heart failure. Some other side effects have been dizziness, depression, increased risk of nerve damage, pain in the feet and hands, decline of cognitive function, including memory loss, liver problems, immune system issues, increased risk of developing Lou Gehrig's disease or ALS, and so on. So we also have a new set of medications called PCSK9, and this targets and suppresses a particular gene involved in the regulation of how much cholesterol your liver can actually filter out. This can be potential to this has the potential to lower the cholesterol to dangerous levels and many more imbalances and side effects. On the emotional and metaphysical sides of this issue, a person with high cholesterol may have lived a long time with a total absence or lack of family support and communication. It could be because the family has separated or they live far away and they never call or visit. The person may also feel unable to do things alone. They may even have a feeling that others do not care and therefore have to deal with everything themselves, refusing to open themselves to joy. A high level of cholesterol can also happen out of sympathy when someone unconsciously is very concerned about a close family member who are not mature or responsible enough and need to be very aware of them to help them. Loss of territory can be another reason, and this can be anything from objects to partners or wanting something or someone and not having it. This person may have the tendency to get easily angry, especially when it comes to sort of defending their territory. Spiritually, high cholesterol may be linked to self-conflict, self-loathing, and anger against own identity, as well as accumulation of unresolved emotions and spiritual stagnation. I have a 4-part series on how to read your blood test, which you might find actually helpful taking a look at when it comes to the cholesterol section of it. Hope this has been helpful. Like and follow for more. Be the light.